Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Honorable Vijitha Herath, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism of Sri Lanka, to deliver
Honorable
a statement
Vijitha
to the
Herath,
press.
Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka.
Ladies and gentlemen, I would now like to invite Honorable Vijitha Herath, Minister of Foreign Affairs, Foreign Employment and Tourism of Sri Lanka, to deliver a statement to the press.
Ayubowan, Honorable Dr. Subramaniam Jayasankar, Minister of External Affairs of India, Mr. Santosh Jha, High Commissioner of India, members of the Indian and Sri Lankan delegations, friends from the media. At the outset, I warmly welcome Dr. Jayasankar back to Colombo. Dr. Jayasankar's visit at this time is deeply appreciated as it underscores India's steadfast solidarity with Sri Lanka in the aftermath of the adverse weather conditions caused by Cyclone Ditwa. This visit is a strong reflection of the close friendship and enduring partnership between our two countries, as well as India's role as a first responder through the timely launch of Operation Sagar Bandhu. On behalf of President Anukumara Dissanayake, the government and the people of Sri Lanka, I convey our profound gratitude to Prime Minister Narendra Modi, the government of India, and to you, Dr. Jayasankar, for India's invaluable support in assisting Sri Lanka to overcome its economic challenges. We recall with appreciation the unprecedented assistance amounting to $4 billion extended through lines of credit for essential goods and petroleum, bilateral currency swaps, and liability deferment. Sri Lanka and India share a long-standing, multi-dimensional relationship rooted in geographical proximity, deep historical and cultural ties, shared values, and expanding economic linkages. Our bilateral relations continue to grow from strength to strength through regular high-level engagements and close cooperation at political, official, and people-to-people levels. In this regard, we deeply value India's continued support in stabilizing the Sri Lanka economy through multi-pronged assistance, including emergency financing and foreign exchange support, as well as $20.66 million extended to settle payments due for projects completed under existing lines of credit. We also sincerely appreciate India's crucial role in Sri Lanka's debt restructuring process, including as co-chair of the Officer Creditors Committee, which enabled the timely conclusion of discussions. Friends from the media, earlier this morning, Dr. Jayasankar called on President Anukumara Dissanayake and followed through bilateral discussions, which focused on the broad trajectory of India-Sri Lanka cooperation across key sectors, including economic development, energy security, connectivity, trade and investment, health, education, maritime security, digital cooperation, tourism, and people-to-people exchanges. Views were also exchanged on enhancing cooperation in disaster pre-preparedness and resilience in view of the growing impact of climate-related events in our region. During the meeting, President Dissanayaka conveyed his sincere appreciation for India's swift and comprehensive humanitarian support, including the provision of large-scale relief supplies, emergency medical assistance, search and rescue operations, restoration of connectivity, and assistance in rebuilding critical infrastructure. This timely intervention has brought much-needed relief to affected communities and has been invaluable to Sri Lanka's national response efforts. As you are aware, India provided over 10,000 tons of relief material, which were promptly distributed among affected communities. The Indian Army Para Field Hospital, established in Mahiyangana, delivered critical healthcare services, while the Indian Army signalers successfully restored connectivity following cyclone-related disruptions. India also provided approximately 10 tons of urgent medicines, strengthening our emergency healthcare response at a crucial time. We also acknowledge with appreciation the provision of 228 tons of Bailey Bridge units in 4 batches, pursuant to the request made by President Dissanayaka to Prime Minister Modi. This assistance enabled the rapid restoration of vital transport links. Earlier today, Dr. Jayasankar and I virtually inaugurated the Bailey Bridge installed in Kilnochchi in the presence of President Dissanayaka, an important contribution to restoring connectivity. Friends from the media, Dr. Jayasankar's visit today is particularly significant as he is here to announce a further relief package which will provide meaningful support to Sri Lanka's recovery and rebuilding efforts. Through this gesture, India has once again demonstrated its enduring friendship and solidarity. We remain deeply grateful to Prime Minister Modi, to Dr. Jayasankar, and to the people of India. As Dr. Jayasankar is aware, Sri Lanka's tourism sector has rebounded following Cyclone Ditra, and all tourist attractions are now fully operational. India remains the largest source of tourists to Sri Lanka, and a positive message from you, Dr. Jayasankar, would greatly enhance traveller confidence and encourage continued visits. Dr. Jayasankar, I thank you once again for your visit and for the steadfast support extended by the government and people of India to Sri Lanka. I now invite Honorable Dr. Subramaniam Jayasankar, Minister of External Affairs of India, to address the media. Thank you very much.
Honorable Vijitha Herath, Foreign Minister of Sri Lanka, High Commissioner Santosh Jha, members of our 2 delegations, friends from the media, good morning, namaskar, ayubavan, vanakkam. As you are all aware, I am here as special envoy of Prime Minister Narendra Modi and carrying a message for President Anurag Kumar Dissanayaka. The President was kind enough to receive me this morning, and we had a detailed discussion on the damage caused by Cyclone Ditra. The letter from Prime Minister Modi that I handed over builds on our first responder role and commits a reconstruction package of $450 million to Sri Lanka. Our talks centered around how expeditiously this commitment can be delivered. As your closest neighbor and in line with our Neighborhood First and Mahasagar policies, it was only natural that India stepped forward at a time when Sri Lanka faced a crisis. We have done so when you were going through economic difficulties as well. In the case of Cyclone Ditwa, you would appreciate that India has also been a strong advocate of cooperative disaster response. The Coalition for Disaster Resilient Infrastructure was a notable initiative that we led in this regard. India's relief and assistance mission, Operation Sagar Bandhu, commenced on the very day that Cyclone Ditwa made landfall. Our aircraft carrier, INS Vikrant, and another ship, INS Udaygiri, were present at Colombo and delivered relief materials, and thereafter also deployed helicopters. Thereafter, a number of Mi-17 helicopters of the Indian Air Force were active for a period of more than 2 weeks in Sri Lanka. An 80-member National Disaster Response Force contingent arrived simultaneously and conducted rescue and relief operations. The Indian Army set up a field hospital with 85 medical personnel near Kandy, giving emergency care to more than 8,000 people. 2 modular Bhishma emergency care units were also airlifted to Sri Lanka and utilized. Given the scale of the damage, restoring connectivity was clearly an immediate priority, and this was in fact discussed between His Excellency President Desanayake and Prime Minister Modi in their telephone call. A large number of Army engineers erected a Bailey Bridge transported by C-17 aircraft at Kilinochchi, which Minister Herath referred to earlier in his remarks. 1 more Bailey Bridge at Chilaw is currently under construction. Overall, Operation Sagar Bandhu delivered over 1,100 tons of relief material, including dry rations, tents, tarpaulins, hygiene kits, essential clothing, and water purification kits. About 14.5 tons of medicines and medical equipment were also provided. Yet another 60 tons of equipment was brought to Sri Lanka to assist the relief operations. Recognizing the urgency of rebuilding, Prime Minister Modi directed that we now engage with the Sri Lankan government to address their priorities in that regard. The assistance package that we have proposed is worth $450 million. It will include $350 million in concessional lines of credit and $100 million of grants. This package is being finalized in close consultation with the government of Sri Lanka. Our assistance will cover sectors worst affected by the cyclone, including 1. Rehabilitation and restoration of road, railway and bridge connectivity. 2. Support for construction of houses fully destroyed and partially damaged. 3. Support for health and education systems, in particular those that have been damaged by the cyclone. 4. Agriculture, including to address possible shortages in the short and medium term. And 5. Working towards better disaster response and preparedness. We are conscious that work towards mitigating the impact of Cyclone Ditwa on the people of Sri Lanka must be done in the quickest time possible. We are discussing an effective coordination mechanism for earliest possible delivery. Let me also add that there are other ways by which India can and will be of support to Sri Lanka. You are a significant tourism economy, and Minister, let me assure you that we will continue to encourage tourism traffic from India in that regard. Similarly, an increase in foreign direct investment from India can also boost your economy at a critical time. Our discussions will therefore keep in mind promoting a deeper cooperative relationship between our two countries. Friends, we fully recognize that this is a very difficult period for Sri Lanka. Just as it was recovering from the economic crisis of 2022, this natural disaster has created new difficulties. We have seen in the past the strong resolve and strength among the people of Sri Lanka to overcome challenges and to march ahead. I can assure you that India stands firmly with Sri Lanka more than ever before, and I'm sure that Sri Lanka will once again demonstrate its great resilience in recovering from this adversity. Thank you.